So in the last video you saw me taking the Capri's axle down to Southern Axles in Watford, and while that's down there being reconditioned, we're going to take off the old leaf springs in this video. We're also going to look at that gearbox seal, and we're going to also look at the shackles, as half a shackle is stuck in the old multi-leafs and I'm going to need that back. So let's get the blowtorch out and get cracking. So these front bolts on the Capri leaf springs are 22mm on one side, and then I've got a 5/8 bar on that side, and as you can see it kind of locks up inside the hole on the nut and it attaches itself to the bodywork basically, and then it leaves you free to undo from the other side. Switch to a ratchet. Go. There's the nut. There's your bolt. So as you can see, the technique was the Draper Expert 22mm on that, which went inside the hole there, and then the 5/8 or equivalent socket with a bar on the inside, and then use a ratchet once it came free to get that off, and then some mole grips just to pull it out. Now, I've used a lot of penetrating oil on this for a couple of days, so it was a bit easier than probably most Capris. Still got to do the other side though. So I've just been using this small breaker on this side, but I do have this big piece of wood holding the car up, and I couldn't get past it, so I just repositioned the car and use a ratchet. one bolt. One leaf spring. So as you can see, here's the new suspension. It wasn't as bad to get that old stuff off as I thought, but it was all about this guy. Big shout out, as they say on YouTube, to Draper, the 22 swan neck type one. Just fits perfectly on that bolt, and then that can come off easily. Definitely soak these in penetrating oil. Yeah, so no differentials back yet, so it's going to be a little time before this goes on, probably next week. But yeah, ready to go. So I'm going to try something I've seen on another YouTube channel, and it is to heat up the end of this leaf spring so it should separate the rubber bung, and I can just knock it out with this as a drift, and yeah, hopefully it should go out, and then I can cut that down and get this pin out, because I really need the shackle back for the new 2.8 springs. So I've got my Rovenberger blowtorch, I've got my socket, got my hammer. Let's give it a go. So as you can see, I ended up setting fire to the whole thing, and I had a mask on, so I just kind of, in the end, after trying to burn around the edge, which I guess probably would work, but I just didn't have the time, I just set fire to the middle and then walked away and got my drill, and yeah, basically just drilled holes around it. It's pretty weak now, so I'm sure it'll just come right out. Come on. There we go. So I've just got to get that sleeve out, maybe. A lot of scraping. It's kind of got it down to this now. Looking a lot better. I need to check it with the car because I'm still struggling with these to figure out what's going on with this bolt. I don't know if the sleeve... Looks like the sleeve's just got stuck from the old rubber bung on that. It's probably going to take a lot of wriggling off. Otherwise I'm going to have to cut it off and buy a new one. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm probably going to spray these up and you know, make them look nice. Might as well not do just half a job, eh? So I just spoke to Martin from Capri here, and he says this is really common, and what you've got to do is heat this up until it's red hot. I've put 2 nuts on, I think it's meant to put 1. Put a nut on the end to, you know, make sure the thread's okay. Then whack it with a hammer. Hopefully it'll come through. The pin will come through the other side, and then, you know, you can just get the sleeve off. So I think I was just not getting it hot enough, really. But I did want to check with him because I didn't want to ruin it. And then, you know, I'm trying to avoid buying a whole set of bolts just so I've got this one. Let's give it a go. Jesus Christ. So as you can see, it's in at the front. You can probably see it, but the nut's back on there. It's not going anywhere. And now to the back. So you catch me on another day. Did a bit more Capri stuff today. Got some nice goodies from Tickover. Got some braided cables and the rear brake lines that all got twisted up and when the axle was removed. But more importantly, got this rear gearbox seal. I'm getting a lot of leaking oil on the driveway, and other than annoying everybody, it's not very good for the gearbox, obviously. So I'm gonna, since all the diff's already out and the prop shaft's hanging down, thought I might as well go and take this off. So I'm gonna be starting off. This is the chapter you want, chapter 7, and as it says here, stuff that I've already done. I've got the car jacked up and on jack stands, and it mentions that the prop shaft is balanced. So you know, that back flange that you're going to want to mark, if you because you've got to take that off anyway, regardless of whether you're doing what I've done and remove the whole rear of the car. So you would mark up the shaft on the crown wheel and the flange on the prop shaft, and then undo the 4 bolts, and then undo the center 2 bolts. Now this is where I start because I'm already up to this point, and as it says, there could be some shims, as you can see in this photo. When you undo this, they might have had some shims here, so you need to make sure when you undo that, you undo it slowly and see what's going on. And then it seems that the forward part of the shaft it doesn't matter where it goes, but I'm gonna give that a mark anyway, and just, I know my luck, something will go wrong. So yeah, mark that up maybe, and then pull it out, but be prepared if you're following the step by step. The next step is to place a tray under the car to catch any gearbox oil that's going to come out. I'm told that with the back end of the car up quite high, you'll either get very little or none, but I don't know yet, so be aware of that. And then, as it always says in Haynes manuals, refitting the prop shaft as the reversal of the above procedure. So it should be as easy as that. And then making sure that any shims and the same bolts go in the same place. Make sure that the flange is marked up on the rear, and that should be it. Okay, so you can see the oil is leaking pretty bad out the back of the gearbox. I marked up with a bit of paint where it's going in. Put the car into gear. Figured out these are 2 13mm bolts. Already disconnected the back and marked that up. So let's crack on. So that wasn't too bad, just the 2 bolts, slightly different on mine. Someone's also been here before. So next step, pull that pinion out. I've got my drip tray ready. There we go, a little bit of oil. Nothing mega. Absolute graft. There we go. Jesus Christ. Well, that was a 2-minute job, apparently. More like a 2-day job here. So, just for comparison's sake, there's the old one. Obviously there's the new one. That was hard to get out. Check out the rear of this. I guess that's where we should have been getting in. Wasn't really happening though, it was stuck in there, that was. So the next thing to do is to clean the inside of here. What's this? Still a bit of the seal in there. Dab a bit of oil. Place it in very gently. And then next I'm told to use a drift such as this, because we want that to go in level. Let's try and line it up a bit better. Right, so in the end, it took me a couple of days to do that job, and I had to use a hammer on its own with no drift, and starting tapping it in all the way around. There's just no way I could get the socket to stay on. And it was only big enough to go around the rubber seal, which I didn't want to damage. And then I tried a bigger, longer drift to get it from further away. As some people said that they had to drift it all the way from back by the axle. This didn't work either, so yeah, in the end, small hammer, and just tapped it all the way around, and luckily it stayed flush, and it hasn't leaked since, so I'm assuming it's okay. So we'll see how it goes when it gets a few more miles under its belt, but at the moment it's fine. So okay, that's the end of this video. There's going to be another video on the axle going back on the car, and then we can get a few more videos of other jobs on the car. And the car's coming back soon, so be some more driving videos. So yeah, click that subscribe button and give it a like, and click the bell if you want to see more videos on this. And until the next time.